attempt to adjust the picture. We are controlling transmission. We will control the horizontal. We will control the vertical. We can change the focus to a soft blur, or sharpness to crystal clarity. For the next hour, sit quietly and we will control all that you see and hear. You are about to participate in a great adventure. You are about to experience the awe and mystery which reaches from the inner mind to the outer limits.
Let me grab my Mountain Dew real quick.
So if we could keep it to an hour, that'd be awesome, because there's a movie I want to go see tonight.
What was that? I don't listen to you when I'm in the kitchen.
That's rude. I said if we could keep it to an hour, that would be awesome, because I've got a movie I want to go see tonight.
What movie?
Yes.
Is it a new movie?
Yeah.
Prisoners?
Yep.
Are you seeing it by yourself?
Yeah. Unusual.
I wanted to see that.
Oh, did you? Why didn't you?
Well, I worked Friday, and I've continued to work since Friday. In fact, today and Wednesday, Fight Club is playing at Sparks.
Oh, shit. You should go see it.
I should go see it, but my funds are limited until I get paid on Friday.
God, stop being such a bitch about money.
With that, welcome to Sequel Podcast. I'm Matt Bonta.
I'm Melissa Hoffman.
Are you Melissa Hoffman? Formerly Melissa Bonta?
Formerly known as Melissa Bonta, formerly known as Melissa Hoffman. So,
I used to be Melissa Hoffman.
I used to be Melissa Hoffman, which is now I used to be Melissa Bonta. I went to Best Buy today, and they were like trying to look up my rewards zone, and I was like, Melissa Hoffman. And I was like, it could be under Melissa Bonta because I go under two different names. And I was thinking about that, and the way that like I approached that, like saying that, you know, I go by two different names, they might have thought that one was like an alter ego.
It's your stage name.
It's my stage name. It's my stripper name that I sometimes use as my Best Buy reward zone name.
I don't like that.
So what's new, Matt Bonta?
Well, I just watched The Thing back to back.
Oh, cool.
And it is got to be the greatest movie ever made.
It's the greatest horror film ever made, yeah.
It's on the line of sci-fi horror. I was thinking about that. It's a science fiction film with horror elements.
It's a science fiction thriller, much like Alien is.
Yes, the first Alien.
Okay.
The second Alien is science fiction action.
Okay.
Aliens, if you will.
Yes.
But
the first is a science fiction thriller
with
and
horror elements. And I watched it once, and then I saw that there was a commentary, so I watched it again. With the commentary, and it was like the movie. Like watching it back to back, I've got no problem with it. That's how I know if it's a good movie, is if I'm able to just cycle through it a million times.
Oh yeah.
Lately, when I've been going to bed, I just put on Paul like every single night and go to sleep to that movie. Because I don't have a Blu-ray player in the bedroom. I've got a DVD player, and so I took all my Blu-rays and pulled the DVDs out of them that came with it. And there's like 5 that I like that I'm willing to watch, like going to sleep as far as that goes. And I'd love to have Hot Tub Time Machine on DVD so I can sleep to that. Yeah. But Paul is just, it makes me feel good. You know, those two guys, they're so funny, and like, you know, the way they interact with Paul and everything, it's really, really good.
And Kristen Wiig is so good in that too.
She's really fun. She when she starts swearing and everything, and then she grabs his junk, it's like the funniest fucking thing. And her swears are random, like she says like titty balls or something like that, something weird.
man. I have to watch that again. I've only probably seen that a couple times.
At least when we went and saw it in theaters, and then when we bought it on Blu-ray.
Yeah, as per usual.
I'd like to purchase the Steelbook edition that just recently came out, and then I'd have Sean, Hot Fuzz, and Paul on Steelbook.
Nice. That's awesome.
But I probably won't get around to buying Paul on Steelbook anytime soon.
Why?
Just other purchases that I would like to make ahead of it.
Stop being a little bitch about money. What did I say?
Well, it's not about the money. It's about the other things that I would like to get with the money.
Get a part-time job.
You know what? Pretty soon I'll be making plenty to where I don't need a part-time job, but even then you still need money. You need money.
Okay, so right now you're surviving on what you're getting from JCPenney, and you're still getting extras, and you're still eating out all the time. Imagine if you have a part-time job, you can just take all of that money.
Oh, I know that. I've thought about that. I've thought about the aspects of having a part-time job and how much, more supplementary income. But if with a part-time job, that means I've only got, even less of a time of a life, so I wouldn't even have time to watch a movie. I work...
What are you doing with your spare time right now?
Watching movies. Watching movies and podcasting, and I'm also, I'm trying to write and I'm trying to make movies. That's my passion right there.
I believe you need to sleep less.
I don't fucking drink all of my spare time away. Like you.
I don't. I've actually given up drinking until next weekend.
Until next weekend? That's not giving anything up. That's just not drinking for a little bit and then drinking again. What is next weekend that you need to drink so much for?
A pub crawl.
Those things are so trashy.
No, they're not trashy. Maybe they're trashy when they're in Reno.
Whatever. We're not going to get into my thoughts about alcohol.
Okay. We won't go there then. So, speaking of movies and people named Paul, did you see the trailer for that movie, Prince Avalanche? I sent it to you, didn't I?
Yeah, we've talked about it.
Yeah, I saw that movie.
I know you saw that movie.
The podcasting audience doesn't know that.
But no one cares about that movie.
What? It's a great movie.
This is a Halloween-themed podcast.
Oh, dang it. Fine. Well, it's Halloween themed because it takes place in the woods, and there was a fire, and there are some paranormal, supernatural elements.
No.
Yeah.
Anyways.
You don't want to know what it is? There's a woman that's probably a ghost at the end. I'm serious. Look it up.
What I'm looking at right now is, do you have any scary stories from real life that you would like to share?
Oh, golly. Plenty.
Well, go ahead.
Okay, so one is something that has happened to me multiple times and is unexplainable.
Were you raped by a ghost multiple times?
No.
I think I know what you're. I think I know what you're going to tell, and it'll be interesting to pair it with Greg's.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. So the first time that it happened was in Santa Cruz, and I think it was after we had. Did we do the Buffy Ouija board in Santa Cruz? We did, didn't we?
We bought the Buffy Ouija board in Santa Cruz.
Yeah.
But
I think it was after.
It doesn't really work because the planchette, is that what you call it?
Yeah.
It doesn't move on the board.
Right. And so we had brought it out and we had tried it and we were like, oh, that's gay. I think it was that night I was laying there and I think I was turned towards you, so my back was away from you. And I felt like someone was pulling on my hair, like tugging on my hair so hard that my head was tilting up. And I was like, what the fuck? And it was probably one of the scariest experiences of my life, because I feel like I have a good grip on what is reality and what is a dream, or what is not reality. And that was pretty damn real. So anyway, I mean, you know, of course time kind of dilutes it. And you're like, oh, okay, whatever. You know, what was I thinking? That's silly. I think it was a couple weeks ago. I was laying here, and I heard a sound coming from the bathroom. And it didn't sound like water droplets. It sounded like a bottle of shampoo fell in the shower. And so at first I heard it, and then I'm thinking in my head, oh, okay, so a bottle of shampoo probably fell. And then the sound came again a few seconds later. And then the sound came again, and again, and again. And it was just like in the same interval, you know, maybe like 5 seconds. And it just kept going. And it's freaking me the fuck out. And I'm like, how long can I lay in bed and not go check that out? So I get up from bed, and I go into the bathroom. Of course, the second I step into the bathroom, it stops. I go back to my bed. Sound has stopped. I close my eyes. I turn over. I'm laying there for maybe 10 minutes, and I feel that tugging on my hair again. And at first I try to ignore it, and then it gets so bad to where my head's tilting up again, and I just like I'm freaking out, and so I have to turn over. I think I went and turned on the light. Like I grabbed a teddy bear and then I fell asleep. So, you know, that's the big one, because for me it's so strange. It's different. It's not like a paranormal experience that you hear about all the time. It's kind of specific to me, I feel like.
Are you saying that you weren't asleep when this happened?
I was not asleep when this happened.
Go on.
Are you implying that I was asleep when it was happening?
I'm not implying that. I'm just asking the questions that the audience wants to know the answers to.
Yep, I was not asleep. I was awake. I was wide awake. And I felt it. So, strange. Off the top of my head,
Hold on, your voice went lower.
What's that?
I said your voice went lower there.
Sorry, I was looking off into the distance and pulling the phone back. There was a time right after my dad died. We were driving in the van. It was like right after my dad died, right after we got back from Minnesota, and we were driving in this minivan, and the light, the overhead light, kept flickering on and off. And that was kind of funny, because it was funny. It wasn't scary, because we were all like, oh, Daddy, he's not with us. And then also, my dad hated Michael Jackson. He just despised Michael Jackson. And some genius
Old school conservative.
What's that?
Old school conservative.
Yeah, exactly. That was my dad.
I wish that I could have met him.
He would have loved you. So anyway, so some genius decided to put Michael Jackson on the soundtrack for his funeral.
Oh, God, no!
So it got to the song, and it's probably maybe like 15, 30 seconds in, and it starts skipping. And it messes up, and it can't play anymore.
Wow. Wow.
Exactly. So yeah, I mean, those are the big ones, you know.
No, that reminds me of a couple of stories. I want to say there was one that had to do with my grandma right after she passed, but I can't remember what that is. There's something there, but I'm not sure what that is. But the other one was after Poppy died, and everyone was in the house. They all lived in the house. Stephanie had my old bedroom. She had this, like, it was like a little girl's kind of like bedroom door alarm kind of little fun thing. And it was like, it's shaped as a star. It was pink. It had a speaker on it, and it had a cord that was attached to a button that you press the button, and it would go, "Bang!" You know, like if someone walked into the room or something.
Yeah.
but she didn't have it attached to the door. She just had it against she just had like the little star on the wall. She just put that on the wall. And every so often, you know, with no one being in the room, it would go off. It would just go bang. You know, and it's not like it shorted and just kept going bang, because it would just go bang and stop. And it wasn't any kind of consistent time that it did it. It would just happen randomly.
It was just when a ghost walked in the room?
Something. Yeah, and you know what? That didn't we have something like that too? We did. The bunny ears. The Easter bunny ears we had. We put them with the props, and we had the props underneath this side table thing, but we had that, and it had fallen behind it, and you know, we never needed them again at that point, so we just left them there. And every so often, the button you press it, and what did it do? Did it jingle or bounce? Was it a bouncing sound?
Yeah, I think so.
It would go off every so often.
Well, are you thinking of that guy that we put in the bushes and...
No. I know what that is. That one's awesome. We never put that in the bushes. No, the bunny ears. The bunny ears fell behind the end table, and those would, like, they'd go bang, bang. I think that's what the sound was, and those would go off randomly. You know, there's no way to get to it to press the button, so it's not like something would hit it. It would just randomly go off. Another thing, kind of similar to that vibrating monster guy that you put in the bushes. I had a Santa Claus. I don't know if I ever told you this story. With our Christmas decorations that we pulled out when I was a kid at the trailer, there was a Santa Claus, and in his mouth, like kind of hidden by the beard, had a sensor, and so when you would walk by it, it would go, ho ho ho, Merry Christmas, and then it would play like Rudolph or Jingle Bells or something like that, just the tune, like a MIDI theme, and we would put it by the living room door, so if you had to get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, that thing would go off when you walked by it. And it's the dead of night, it's fucking quiet as fuck, and you walk by it and it's ho ho ho, and it's like, oh shit. It was a fun little thing. And like, if you were to walk into the room from like the den, like if I were in the den watching a movie or something, then I'd go into the living room, that thing would go off and you would jump because you weren't expecting it. You know, it's like that thing where you're walking through a haunted house and someone jumps out at you. That Santa Claus did that every time because you always forgot that it was there and that it would do that. Oh, and another thing, the Halloween decorations at the trailer. I had a Dracula head, you know, just a little like cardboard artwork thing that you would tape to a window. You know, you had like haunted houses and pumpkins you would just tape to the window. But I taped that to the look-through window in the back door. So it was about person's height. So at the middle of the night, you go up and go to the bathroom. Suddenly it looks like someone's fucking looking in through that door on the other side. And it would scare the shit out of you then, too. You know, just fun little things.
Yeah.
Good shit.
But, you don't have any more, like, paranormal, weird things happen to you?
I'm the big skeptic at this point in my life. You know, when I was younger, I was like, ghosts, aliens, monsters, those things are awesome. I believe in them. But, you know, the less that I felt that I was exposed to them and didn't hear about any of those things ever, you know, less I believed in them. But there is one time, you know, I was trying to think about them. You know, I'm sure when I was younger, there was probably a lot of times where I thought I saw things in the shadows. But there's only one that I could think that I was able to think of. And it turns out to be nothing. This is like, when you listen to Dakota's pod in a couple weeks when I put that on, he's got a really good one. But mine is, so I'm young, like maybe 8 or around, you know, give or take a year. And it's Christmas time. and my friend Ian was staying the night, and we had the Christmas tree was up, and you know, we like to stay up a lot. You know, like as kids, you wanted to stay up longer than, you know, you were told to. So we would, like, you know, just the lights were off, and so stupid. You know, the lights are off, and, you know, we were just laying there talking or whatever, and it looked like there was something, like, right where the tree was, like in front of the tree, like a big ghost-like guy in front of the tree, it looked like. And, you know, we were kind of freaking each other out. And so what I do is I get up and I run over to it and I start swinging my arms wildly at it, and then I book it out of there, you know, down to the other bedroom in the house. And that's where I stayed for the rest of the night until the morning. And then when I got up and talked to Ian about it, he was like, you know, I thought it picked you up and threw you.
Something there too?
We both thought we saw something there. Yeah.
Wow.
It's, you know, you're a kid. You've got an active imagination. You know.
It's funny that your reaction is to go straight to it, to fight it, and then run away.
That's my reaction to everything in life. You know, if I'm gonna eat something I've never tried before, you know, if I hang on to it for too long, I'm just not going to do it. So I've got to just fucking get in there and take a bite of something, go in there and check something out. I've got to make my action right away, otherwise it's never going to fucking happen.
And that's awesome, because you think about, like, the fight or flight response, you know, yours is fight all the way, and mine is the exact opposite.
Well, no. If I wait too long, it's all flight. So it's like a 10% chance of fight. And it, you know, it's like it's either that first instant, and I gotta do it. You know.
Yeah.
You're a flight kind of person.
I'm a flight all the way, man. You know, danger comes my way, and you know what? I wouldn't even say it's a flight. I think it's more like fight or die. And my option is die.
You sound like Kevin Smith.
Lay down and let it happen and just accept whatever fate is thrown at me.
No, you know, it sounds like I'm a fight kind of guy, but I'm a big flight kind of guy. And, you know, I was thinking about this too. It kind of delves into a little bit of who I am that I'm sure that I've never ever discussed with you before. When I was younger, I feel like it was Charlie. I feel like it was after. I'm talking here. I feel like it was after Grandma died, but I want to say that I wasn't that old, so she might have just been sick and over at Mam's house. But like, I want to say when I was around 4th grade, 5th grade, there was like a period in my life where I was just like very fearful of everything, and not in like the silly kind of way where I'm afraid of my own shadow, but just like you know, like afraid of the unknown and what's in the darkness, or like if someone comes and knocks at the door like at nighttime, you know, and it ends up being like, you know, oh, I'm sorry, it's the wrong house, you know, or a phone call and it's the wrong number, but it's like later at night, you know, and just like the fear that, you know, the news and society instills in people, that I was really susceptible to all those kinds of things when I was at one point in my life, and it kind of has dictated who I am now as an adult. You know, the same way that being raised in a religious family has kind of affected me. You know, despite the fact that I don't believe in God, I still do have that knee-jerk reaction to, you know, the fear of hell and everything like that.
So do you believe that's where some of your kind of like introverted nature comes from? Is this kind of deep-rooted fear of people, of things, of situations, of situations that may end up being dangerous?
Definitely. No, definitely. Most definitely. That, and another bit of my introvertedness also comes from being raised by my great-grandparents. You know, it's like, if I were raised with my brother and sister, with my parents, you know, I'm sure they would go out and do things. Like I never went and saw a movie with my great grandparents ever until I was in high school. You know, I didn't go out and do things because they didn't go out and do things, and it's not something that I was really ever exposed to, so it's not something that I really get interested into. Same with, you know, my not dislike of candy and chocolate, but my lack of attention for it, I guess. Yeah, lack of interest for it. You know, a lot of my introvertedness comes from that, from like kind of living this sheltered life by being raised by my great grandparents.
Yeah.
You know, which kind of sucks because you always like to go out and do things, and I always liked staying in. It's not helping that I live here by myself now and want to go out and do stuff, but really can't.
Right. Yeah, that's true. And also, like, little things like eating early and going to bed early. Like,
that comes from being raised by my great-grandparents. You know, they make jokes about that on movies and TV shows. They're like, oh, yeah, all these old people, they eat at 4 o'clock and they go to bed at 6.
Really weird special, yeah.
yeah. And it's like, oh, is that something that we make fun of? Because that's kind of like, that's how I live my life.
I know, and it's so funny because I think you would generally use the excuse, oh, we have work tomorrow, you know, so that was kind of an excuse. But I think even if your work had started at 8 o'clock in the morning or 9 o'clock in the morning, you still would have wanted to go to bed at 8 at night, and which is relatively early, and also eating dinner before 5 o'clock. So didn't we always do that? Didn't we always eat dinner before 5?
We would come home and eat dinner.
After
we get off at 2:30.
Exactly. And that was kind of tough for me because it was like, by the time we get into bed,
You're hungry again.
So, well, I think more of it was just like, I wanted to be tired. You know, I wanted to have a restful night's sleep, but I ended up tossing and turning for a couple hours before I got tired. So.
I've got a theory on that, too. That's something else that I've been thinking about. It's a good thing that this conversation's going into these segues that work out for me. I wish, like, I hate the idea of going to work late because then you get off late. But no matter how early I go to bed, I still wake up fucking tired. And I think that has to do with the fact that, you know, we really need to wake up when our bodies naturally make us wake up, and most importantly, we need to wake up with the sun to help wake us up. You wake up in the dark, and it doesn't help your, you know, being tiredness in any way. You know, you need to wake up with the sun. You need to get that vitamin D. You need to get that energy. And, like, I would love to be able to just kind of wake up when I wake up and then go to work. But I would hate the idea of getting off later because I like to get off early so I can, you know, do what I have to do.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And, you know, I've been trying to stay up late on my weekends, but being by myself, I can only do so much before I get bored and be like, well, I might as well go to bed.
Yeah, that's true. That's kind of the natural, like, well, there's nothing else to do, might as well go to bed.
You know, you know, whenever we were friends with Casey and Allie, they would come over on the weekends, and we would be up. You know, we'd play Monopoly, or you know, from that point we'd have a movie on, or then we would be talking and bullshitting for like 2-3 hours until 3-4 o'clock in the morning, and then we'd go to bed. Mm-hmm. You know, you really need something to do, otherwise there's really no point in staying up late.
Yeah, for sure. You know what's funny is, you know, so my schedule is 7:30 to 4:30. During the summer, that is perfect because I'm literally like at work and when like I'm driving to work as the sun is going up. So I think it was the other night I stayed up all night drinking. I was so drunk when I went to bed. I was so drunk when I went to bed that I did not set the alarm on my phone. In fact, my phone was dead. And I had to work the next day. I can't believe I did that, but I will admit it. Somehow, I woke up at 6:20 in the morning so I could shower and go to work. without an alarm, without anything, and I felt fine, sleep-wise. I feel like I got enough sleep. And I think it was truly because, at 6:20 out here at least, that's when I start getting that first, brightness, kind of lightness outside, The sun's not quite up yet, but it's still kind of illuminating the horizon, so I feel that brightness from outside. So I do, I'm so with you that, naturally what our bodies want to do is they want to go to sleep when the sun goes down, and they want to wake up when the sun comes up.
Oh, yeah, especially when daylight savings come and our days are shorter, and it hits 5 o'clock and it starts getting dark, you're going to start yawning, and you'll be like, what the fuck?
Oh, my God. The transition to daylight savings time, when it's hella dark out when I get to work, I hate that, man. That is the worst.
Go to work at dark, get out at dark.
Started. Yeah. Start the day. It feels like you just woke up in the middle of the night and went to work.
Yeah. Remember when I used to do that?
Yeah, that was fucked up. Go at 2:30 in the morning.
I loved it. I loved it so much.
You were working that shift when that fire was going on down.
Yeah. I honestly, I loved that shift. Getting off work at 11:30 in the morning. Greatest thing ever.
Really? Because the first half of the day feels like you might as well be sleeping, huh?
Yeah, you're basically by yourself. It's so quiet. You do whatever you do. Then people show up at 6, and you feel like, okay, now I'm starting my day. Oh, half day. And then I could go and fucking go grocery shopping without anybody being there and get that done and out of the way. Go home and take a nap. And then you're off work.
Yeah.
We still ended up going to bed at 6 o'clock. I'm surprised that you were able to do that, but you did it.
Like I said, I didn't really do it because I just tossed and turned. So.
Yeah, but fucking whenever I woke up, your ass was fucking dead asleep.
Because I'm a better sleeper in the morning than I am at night. I think a lot of people are.
That's stating the obvious there.
I know. It's weird because it's
you fight sleep when you go to bed.
Yeah.
Unless you're super fucking tired and you've been waiting for it.
Yeah. And you know what helps with that for me is a lot of exercise. If I'm getting regular exercise, I can go to bed at night and lay down and be out in 5 minutes and sleep the whole night through. When I'm not getting regular exercise, I swear I lay awake for hours on end, just thinking and staring up at, the darkness and getting up and going to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Not restful.
You're laying there for an hour trying to go to sleep, and then suddenly you gotta go pee.
Yeah.
And it's well, I'm still not going to sleep now. That's even worse.
Yeah. And while I'm up, I'm gonna go get some water or whatever.
Is there a snack or something?
Yeah. Yeah, so I've been realizing lately I gotta get more exercise. So that means tomorrow I'm gonna get more.
Try not to move your mouth too far away from the phone.
Sorry.
Do you have any favorite scary stories? It can go beyond short stories to full stories, to whatever.
I do have a favorite scary story. Quick, can we pause it so I can go to the bathroom? Because all this talk of peeing makes me want to pee.
Yeah. Go ahead. I'll just keep talking.
Thank you.
So, yeah, Melissa's going pee. She's got a child's bladder, like in the movie Paul. We're going to go back to that movie Paul. Let's just talk about my workspace here for the audience. I podcast from home in the dining room area on the kitchen table. I've got the monitor here with the blue microphone that we've discussed. For those who haven't been listening, the first episode with just me and Kelly was the first time I used it. I've got a Dark Side Funko guy here. He's got a big old block head.
What are you rambling about?
I was just talking about the workspace that I have. My workspace.
Okay, so I do have a favorite scary story. a little concerned that I won't be able to tell it correctly because it's been so long.
It's not a matter of telling it. You're not going to tell it. It's like, what's your favorite scary story? And we'll just discuss it.
Okay. So my favorite scary story was one that my family used to tell to each other and to friends and to unsuspecting victims over and over again.
Oh, so it's just something you made up, or what?
I don't think we made it up. I think we read it in a book or online or something. No, not online. Sorry. Not online. It was in a book or something. It was called The Clip Clop Man.
Oh, yeah. I think I remember this. Yeah. No, I remember the Clip Clop Man. Yeah, no, I remember him now.
Yeah. And that's the thing that kind of sucks. I don't remember why he was Clip Clop. Is it because he walked on his fingernail?
Yeah, something like that. I think that's what it is.
Kind of scary going back to, I haven't thought about the Clip Clop Man since I was a kid. Or since I told you last, and it's been a while. But you think about it, walking on your fingernails, like you just picture a guy walking on his fingernails. It's kind of fucked up. I think that's the idea, though.
An interesting thing, have you seen the pictures of the Slender Man?
The Slender Man?
The Slender Man.
I don't think so.
It's this kind of creepy internet thing. I mean, it's fake, but like what it is like, picture like a awkwardly tall and kind of crooked like guy.
Okay.
His legs are really long, his arms are really long, and he's like as tall as a tree, but not like to the point to where, he's like 50 feet high, but more like 8-9 feet high.
Okay.
And he's got like no face.
Okay.
Like The Question.
Alright.
Kind of, and it's like a bald, no face. No face things are obviously freaky in their own right. Unless you're The Question, of course.
Yeah.
And he's got like a black suit, black tie on. And he's just kind of standing creepily in like either, in a park or a playground or in the background of like a train station. If you look up Slender Man on Google, which you can't do right now.
And which I will not be doing tonight. Yes.
Anyway, well, I guess you can look it up on your phone.
Yep.
But no, it's a real creepy thing that just kind of popped up out of the internet. It's fake, it's just something that someone made up, but that's a creepy thing.
Sounds familiar. I want to say that I've seen that somewhere before.
You probably saw a picture at some point pop up on Facebook somewhere.
Yeah. No, pre-Facebook. I saw it pre-Facebook.
Oh, you saw it pre-Facebook? I don't think it is pre-Facebook.
I feel like I've seen that before.
Here, I'm going to send you a picture.
No, please don't. Please don't. I'm going to tell you why, Matt. Okay?
Because turn around.
No, that's funny. I can't. Every time you've said that, I've been like laying down or my back has been up against the wall or like there's no way that like I can turn around.
Look out your window.
I have the blinds shut.
Well, if they were open, you know what you would see. The Slender Man.
You're fucked up.
I'm getting email updates about your Best Buy thing, so.
By the way, that's not my laptop, it's my phone because they wouldn't fix my fucking laptop.
Oh, so then you have your laptop.
Yeah, I have my laptop, it's just not really working.
So we can't use Skype for this?
No.
Why wouldn't they fix your laptop?
Because I guess I didn't get the plan for it.
Well, I mean, they wouldn't fix it anyways?
Nope. They said unless it has a virus or something, they won't fix it.
Well, I guess you'll just have to take it into a computer shop.
They said contact Samsung. It's been less than a year since I bought it, so I think the 1-year warranty is still on it.
Well, don't procrastinate like you do with everything else.
Blah, 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 blah.
You're supposed to have Act 1 done by tonight, like you said.
And I guarantee you that if my laptop is still working, I would have it here.
So does that mean you're never going to write the script?
No. It means I'm going to contact Samsung and get them to fix my computer, and they'll write the script.
Well, what happened with getting the script done by the 1st of October?
I will write it at work.
You promise?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, because it's the 22nd of September.
I know it.
That gives you 8 days to finish the script.
No problem.
Alright. Because it's starting to get a buzz now.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Greg talked about it yesterday after we got done potting, and me and Dakota talked about it, so wheels are starting to get in motion.
Mm-hmm.
More wheels than previously. So beyond that, you don't have like a favorite short story that you've read or a favorite horror book?
Well, okay. So my favorite horror book of all time is probably Scary Stories. Is that what they're called? Scary Stories, I think. Just Scary Stories. You know which one I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
More Scary Stories.
It's not like Clive Barker's Books of Blood or Misery.
You know what? Okay, so the thing about Scary Stories is I read it when I was a kid, and it's just like, it's so disturbing in a really simple way, and I think the most disturbing part were those illustrations. Those original illustrations, they were so gritty, and they were so just dirty, and they just reminded me of being uncomfortably sick because I was so afraid. And there were those stories like about a bone in the soup, in a long dark hallway, in a long dark room. Or
no,
whatever.
see, now that's something else. You're mixing two things.
So sorry. Yep, I'm talking about Scary Stories. Just like, all these just really gross, scary, terrible stories. And those images, man. Ugh. Yuck.
How about vampires, werewolves, zombies, ghosts, aliens? Do you have a preference of those?
A preference?
A preference?
When you say preference, do you mean what is the most scary? Or what I would choose to watch? What kind of movie I would choose to watch? Or...
Which of those things captures your imagination the most?
Give me a list.
Vampires, werewolves, zombies, ghosts, aliens, etc.
That's a tough one, because I do feel like at one point in my life there was vampires. And then at one point in my life it was ghosts. No, it's aliens. Aliens is the alien thing.
Alien ghosts?
If we have ghosts on this planet, do the aliens have ghosts on their planet? Or are alien and ghosts the same thing?
It's all the same.
When we die, do we go to another planet?
The Mormons think so.
Well, there you go then. What do I believe?
What?
What do I believe when we die?
What do you believe? You believe that we go into computers.
Don't fucking say that while laughing.
Well, okay, it's a joke because Melissa read this book called Spook, and it's about black people. No, I'm just kidding. That's just a little racial humor there.
Racist humor.
It's the a spook written by Mary Roach. And one school of thought says that when you die, that your essence transfers into something that's like nearest to you when you die. So if you're you're jerking off at the computer and you fucking have a heart attack and you die or something, and your essence goes into the computer.
Let me ask you a question. Why do you have to be jerking off for that to happen? Why is that in this situation?
Because it's funny.
Oh, okay.
trying to be funny and charming.
It also works if you're laying down in your bed looking at your phone and jerking off, then the rest is going to be fun.
Oh, is that something you do, Melissa?
Is that something you do, Matthew?
You answer my question first.
Yeah.
No, this isn't scary. So, next on the list is Halloween costumes, traditions, etc. It's really hard talking to you about this because it's like, I know what we've done for Halloween the last 8 years.
I can talk about what I did for Halloween pre-nut. Well, I mean, okay, so costume-wise, I do remember.
Did you always dress up, or?
Not every year, but I do remember very clearly. I was Strawberry Shortcake one year. And then one year my brother and I were Raggedy Ann and Raggedy Andy, and that was fun. I think I might have been...
awkward.
Oh, shut up. I might have been a witch one year. I was a devil one year. I remember that. I remember that because the single picture that we got of me was during a really awkward phase, man. I was going through puberty, and I was just awkward. I'm wearing this, like, terrible, form-fitting, like, one-piece devil outfit. I have this tail and the horns, and I'm carrying, what do you call it?
Pitchfork.
Pitchfork. Carrying a pitchfork. And I have the weirdest look in my eyes, like, on my whole face. It looks like I'm constipated or something. And I'm just standing there, and I'm like, what? And the only picture, I'm not looking at the camera. I don't know what I'm looking at. I'm just looking off to this, and that's the only picture we have of me as that devil. I mean, you know, it was just every year. We didn't have a whole lot of money, so we kind of had to make do. You know, I think we were hobos one year.
What about that? What about that phenomenon that happens around here? At least I've only seen it around here. There are sometimes these flyers on windows for, like, the most scariest, fucked up haunted house you'd ever possibly imagine. It's really gritty and violent and macabre and disturbing, and it's like, come here for the scariest fucking thing ever. And you went to one of those, right?
I went to one of those.
And what did it turn out to be?
What's that?
What did it turn out to be?
Well, I'm getting to that. So, we brought, you know, all the kids because we thought it was going to be just the scariest, awesomest thing in the whole world. And you basically get ushered into this room, and it's all dark and everything. And then they put on a little play for you. And the play is about these sinners going to hell.
Sounds like Red State.
And then you get ushered into the next room where they're giving you flyers about the church. And they're like, wasn't that terrifying?
They put more effort into their flyers than actual haunted houses do.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. They are all about it, man. And they really do, like, market it as the scariest thing you'll ever experience.
Like, I remember the first time you told me about this because we were at, like, I think it was either Portisubs or Egg Roll King. And there was one of those flyers in the window. It had to have been Portisubs. Over there by where Scalari's used to be. And I was like, oh man, that looks really fucked up. And you're like, you know what? I bet you I know what that is. And I was like, you know what? It has to be because they are trying way too hard to fucking prove how scary their haunted house is.
And I think it did take place, like, I don't know,
at a
some
church,
recreation center near a church or something like that. Yeah.
And you know, it's a real cautionary tale for those kids who are trying to have fun on Halloween night.
I know. They're just gonna end up hearing a sermon. No fun.
So let's talk about horror movies, I guess.
We'll go back. Okay, all right. Horror movies.
Was something you wanted to go back to?
Oh, nothing. I was just going to say one of the traditions that I had every year for Halloween as a kid is we would put a bunch of candy in a tissue Or we would put a lollipop in a tissue or a bunch of candy, and then we would tie it with a rubber band and paint faces on it and make them look like ghosts. And that was something we did every year, and that was a lot of fun.
And you passed those out to the trick-or-treaters?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we passed those out to trick-or-treaters.
You kept them for yourself?
And then I remember one year, like, it was kind of fucked up. We went out with a bunch of kids from our church, because we went to Methodist church. So we went out with a bunch of kids from our church, and one of them stole my bag of candy. And that was...
Someone that you were with stole your bag of candy?
Yep. And then they ran off and met up with their friends or whatever.
I remember one year, there was one dude in the neighborhood that was trick-or-treating, and he was dressed as like a football player, and he was snatching bags. Like, it was one of those things that you go back and you think about and you remember certain details, because I was trick-or-treating, and I was trick-or-treating with someone that I think like looked like he might have been, it might have been Dean. I don't remember who it was that I went trick-or-treating with. It might have been my Aunt Sarah. She might have been there. And like the dude thought that I was with like a parent or something, and he didn't do anything. But later on, my friend Ian got his bag snatched, and they mentioned it was by this guy that was like a football player for Halloween, and it made me think back. It's like, oh, I think that dude was gonna snatch like my bag or whatever.
Oh.
And then like, you know, when you're trick or treating, you see like these tossed like pillow bags and shit like that. Like someone snatched it, dumped the candy in their bag, and just tossed it. You know, it's like finding a single shoe in the road.
Yeah. Okay. So seeing shoes on the road, like, that messes me up. I can't handle that.
I see them all the fucking time.
Human remains on the freeway.
That's something I will never forget, and the only reason I will never forget that is because your dumbass woke up right at that part.
That's fucked up. Why is that something? Okay, so we probably need to fill in the listening audience. So we were in LA at the time, right? And you had the news on or something. The news
No, well, I was flipping through the TV, and I caught the news because you were still asleep. We didn't need to be awake, but I was. And I turned to the news, and it looked like there was some fucked up shit going on. And then the newscaster says human remains on the freeway, and you just so happened to wake up, and you're like, did I just hear human remains on the freeway? And it's like, yeah, you did. I was hoping that you wouldn't wake up. And
that is a messed up thing to wake up to.
And if you wouldn't have woken up, it would just have been another news thing for me, you know, and I would have let it go. But you cemented that.
But isn't that strange? Like, why wouldn't they just say there's an accident on the freeway and it's blocked off?
Going into Gorky.
You know
it's the fear-mongering.
Like, why would they have to say there's human remains on the freeway?
I really don't know. It's fear-mongering. That's what the world we live in, is fear-mongering.
Terrible. Messed up.
I mentioned Red Asphalt to Greg the other day, and he's like, there's a new one that the BBC put out about texting while driving. I was like, oh no.
Oh God. Oh my God. I can only imagine. Have you seen those commercials? Like, I've seen them here and there, because obviously I don't watch TV, but I think you see them on the internet when I watch YouTube videos. And like this guy's sitting there, and he's like, I was driving along, and then I hear a thump, and then his body falls down from the roof onto the hood, and I go, oh my God, what have I done? And like, it was a fucking commercial for texting while driving, or for not texting while driving. And I'm like, that's so messed up. And this guy killed 3 kids while texting "I love you" to somebody.
Like, hold on, like a real guy, or?
Yeah, no, he was a real dude. And he was like, you know, they were talking to him, he's like, you know, this will stay with me for my whole life. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Honestly, the situation isn't funny. It's fucked up, but
yeah.
The humorous bit about it is that that's the world that we live in, is where someone is on their cell phone and they kill somebody. Yeah. You know, it's not like there's a crazy guy out there killing someone, or a fucking drunk driver who doesn't know better. Still, they know better than to drive drunk, but like, they get behind the wheel anyways because they're drunk, and that's something that happens. But now people are killing people when they're not drunk or high or driving at night or sleepy, or they're not a serial killer, they're not a bad person in any way, shape, or form. They just happen to pull out their cell phone and text a quick message like K, and they fucking run somebody down.
Yep. I know that is so fucked up. That is so fucked up because it's so avoidable. And I say that, and I don't really do it anymore. I'll do it at stoplights, but not while driving, because I realize that while I'm driving, how in the world, can I text while driving and not, kill somebody? It feels like inevitably I'm gonna kill somebody or hurt somebody really bad. And then sometimes I'm driving next to people and I look at them, they're driving with their knees and their eyes are down on their phone, consistently. And I'm like, you really don't know what's in front of you, dude.
It's a little electronic device in our hands is causing people to lose their lives or ruin their lives.
Yep.
What time did you want to finish this by?
What time is it?
It's 7:38 for me.
That means it's 8:38. We should wrap up if possible, because the movie's at 9:30, I think, but they don't let people into the theater late.
Oh, you're going to the Draft House?
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I know. So the whole reason I wanted to go tonight, specifically, I wasn't going to go anywhere tonight, but they're doing a fundraiser tonight only for the Colorado flooding, and so it's something like 15% of all sales are going to go to disaster relief. So I kind of wanted to participate, and it just so happens The Prisoners is playing at 9:50, so I want to see it.
9:50 now, or?
Well, I think the movie starts at 9:50, but the pre-show starts at 9:30. So I want to be there by 9:30.
Okie dokie.
Okay.
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 Okay. We didn't even get to talk about horror movies.
Okay, well, I mean, I've got pretty much every day this week open, so we can talk whatever.
But I don't have every space open for another podcast in October.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
can you do a dual pod then? Like a double it up, 2 for 1?
I guess I can. So we can just be keep talking, and then here we are, we're talking, and then
nothing ever happened.
And then we stop, let's say right now. Alright, so do you like horror movies, Melissa?
I do like them.
Make sure you talk loud enough.
Okay, do my best.
What is your favorite horror movie? Your face?
That's a pretty good one. Favorite horror movie? Just off the top of my head, and it could be because we've been kind of talking about it, or you've been talking about it, but I really do think that John Carpenter's The Thing is a near perfect horror movie.
Can you talk any louder?
What's that?
Can you talk any louder?
I can try.
There you go. That's perfect.
It just feels like it's, 5 o'clock in the morning and I just woke up.
You'll die if you try.
Maybe. So yeah, I really like The Thing. I mean, I feel like it's got, all elements to make up a good horror movie. The acting is fantastic. There's the special effects that, especially for, the 80s, are just really, really awesome. And it's just a great movie. It's really enjoyable to watch, which I think, horror movies can be, really kind of terrible. You never want to watch them again because they're so scary, and that for me is like The Ring. But The Thing, I just watch over and over and over again and enjoy it every single time.
Why do you like horror movies? What is it about them?
I think it's, it's kind of the excitement. It's the suspense. It kind of gets your adrenaline going. You start watching it, and it's like, it's so funny because all horror movies, you go into it knowing that it's a horror movie.
Hoping it's a horror movie.
What's that?
Hoping that it's a horror movie.
Well, you're not going to go see it unless you know.
Hoping it's good, though.
In the beginning, they build up this storyline, so the perfect family, or, just a camping trip, or whatever the story may be. It seems so happy and jolly, nothing could go wrong, and you know that everything is going to fucking go wrong. And you can almost, get a grip on the story in the first 15 minutes and tell, who's going to die first, who's going to end up, being one of the last people living. It's just, it's fun, it's kind of a little tradition. One movie that I did not know was a horror movie going into it was
Funny People.
The Collector.
Funny People.
Funny People, yeah. Also The Collector.
You didn't know that was a horror movie?
No, so what happened was, if you remember, we went to the movies, and I think it was one of those few times that we didn't know what we were going to see.
No, we were going to see Funny People.
We were going to see Funny People?
That was that movie that came out that weekend, and we went Friday night, and we were going to see Funny People.
So when did we see The Collector?
We saw The Collector then, instead of Funny People.
Okay. So we were going to see Funny People, so we saw The Collector instead. You were like, oh, I wanted to see that. And I'm like, The Collector? Oh, man, I came kind of for Funny People, and we're going to go through The Collector. Oh, it sounds like a drama, I thought we were walking into some drama, or,
I think
don't know,
you
romance.
are remembering it incorrectly.
Oh, am I?
Yes. Because, clearly it was stated that it was from the guys that wrote, the Feast movies and the Saw movies.
No, it wasn't. It was not. When we were buying our tickets, it was not.
It was, because...
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. I clearly remember this.
Who remembered their own brother's birthday and who didn't? Or they're not their own brother's birthday and who did not remember their own brother's birthday.
That is so different.
Is it different? Is it different that you should know it since since you're 20 something and you should have known that?
Yeah. Different.
Anyways.
I don't really keep in touch with my brother.
Well, that's a shame.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, you love The Collector?
I didn't know that The Collector was a horror movie going into it, but it was a good movie.
And you still haven't seen The Collection?
I haven't seen The Collection. Is it worth seeing?
What? I'm sorry, you're not talking loud enough.
Is it worth seeing?
Yes, it's worth seeing. It's awesome. It's on Netflix, I believe. Don't die on me.
Not. I think maybe we should pick this back up tonight.
No, because I wanted to post this last night. It's already a day late.
Well, can we post the hour that we already have, and then it'll be able to be continued?
Ain't nobody got time for that. No, we're gonna just keep talking. You going to work right now?
I will be, yeah.
Why? Do you love it?
Nope.
Is it a horror movie going to work?
Yes.
Why? You don't know why?
Screaming and dying and...
Oh, they're screaming and fighting at work?
Mm-hmm.
No, there isn't.
All the time.
Tell me about it.
There's people screaming and fighting at work.
That doesn't happen.
And beating all over the place.
You're best friends with everybody at work.
That's not true.
It's one big party down there where you work at.
Sure.
from the way it sounds.
Sure.
It sounds like it's Disneyland over there.
Oh, yeah.
Elitch Gardens.
Couldn't ask for anything better.
The poor man's Six Flags.
We're not talking about one.
We're talking about Elitch Gardens.
Why?
Because it's the poor man's Six Flags. Six Flags, Elitch Gardens. Elitch Gardens, right, Melissa?
Yeah. It'd be Elitch.
It should be Elitch. That's the way you sold it to me.
Sorry.
For what? Selling Elitch Gardens to me like that?
Mm-hmm.
Are you hungry?
Yeah.
What are you gonna eat?
That's a good question. Maybe a yogurt and half of an avocado?
A Frogurt?
Or should I stop and grab breakfast from somewhere?
Half of an avocado? You're gonna eat that by itself?
With salt on it, yeah.
Isn't that bad?
Oh no. Avocados are awesome for you. Are you kidding?
I mean, isn't that like high in fatty content?
Yes, but it's good fat. No, don't laugh. If you don't know anything about it, then I'm not going to talk to you about it.
Why is it good fat?
It lowers your bad cholesterol and it raises your good cholesterol.
I eat oatmeal for breakfast.
That's nice.
Does that lower my cholesterol?
Yeah, it does.
Why don't you make me breakfast anymore? So why don't you make me breakfast anymore?
Clearly because I'm not there.
Would you if you were here?
Of course I would.
What would you make me for breakfast this morning?
What would you want?
Oatmeal.
You're a faggot.
Melissa, in case you don't listen to it, but on Dakota's podcast, we said that we were pro-gay, so you can't use that word. We're pro-gay here at Sequel Podcast. Clearly, Melissa Hoffman is anti-gay.
I'm not anti-gay.
Boo!
Okay, whatever. Not by a long shot. Hey, I've been listening to a lot of Louis C.K. lately. Because he's really funny. And I was listening to this one where he was, like, talking about this good-looking couple walking down the street, and then he thought he saw a kid with them. And he was like, they're a good-looking couple. I don't know. Maybe I'd want to bang the kids. And the audience just, like, bursted out in boos. And just was like, it was terrible. And he was like, I only say that because it pisses you off. And you're like, boo, boo, boo. And then for, like, the rest of the set, they're booing.
I don't think I heard that one.
Oh, you need to listen to it.
I heard the one where he was talking about calling his friends a faggot.
I don't think it's been so much.
And he went, he was talking about hitting a deer, and he got all pissed off, and he was like, nigger, faggot, cunt, to the deer, and everybody got it, they laughed. He's like, people don't call anybody a faggot anymore.
It's true. I don't know why.
I used to say it all the time when I was a little kid.
Really?
Yeah, you know, like you call your friends that,
Yeah.
and now it's so fucking non-PC that you can't call anybody fat. Oh man.
That's funny.
Although in Street Meets Pavement, Diane says it to Cheese. You pencil dick faggot. Oh man. Probably my favorite moment in the movie was that. And it's not in the cut of the movie, but there's a take where she says that to him and he kind of goes, "Oh fuck." Like he knows that that he's fucked himself. I wish that was in the movie, but it's not. You know, it was a nice little line that was ad-libbed by Patrick, but it seemed a little real.
Yeah. I love that because most of Patrick's lines that are ad-libbed, they're perfect. They're perfect for cheese, you know?
Well, that's because Patrick is cheese.
Yeah.
That's his life. I never told you this because I always forgot, but Patrick didn't get your card that you mailed him until that Friday.
Yeah.
Oh, did I tell you that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I did? Okay. Never mind. Cross that one out, Melissa. Rewind. Are you going to get coffee this morning?
Yeah.
Are you going to love it?
Oh, yeah.
Is it pumpkin latte spice time?
I was thinking of driving up to 303 Coffee and getting their Colorado spice latte. And that's a mix of hazelnut and chocolate and pumpkin and a bunch of different spices.
Are they gonna sell you zombie coffee?
Do you say zombie coffee?
Are they gonna sell you zombie coffee?
I don't know what that is.
Well, obviously you don't know what that means.
Obviously.
What about Kolache Palace?
Oh my gosh. Kolache Factory?
Kolache Kingdom.
Kolache Town?
I used to get kolaches at that Diamond Shamrock gas station almost every morning when I went to work at U.S. Welding.
Really?
Yeah, you knew this.
Was that the same one that has the whoopie pies?
Yep, they got the whoopie pies. I
Did
got
they have
those.
good kolache?
They were. I mean, it was just a simple kolache. You know, it was like a pigs in a blanket kind of situation.
Oh, so it didn't really compare to Kolache Kingdom?
No, well, I mean, those you can get any kind of fucking kolache that you want because they got it all. You know, Philly cheesesteak, ham and cheese, you know, omelets, pizza, you know, they got all the kolaches.
All the kolaches.
They've got them all.
Give me all of the kolaches.
That also happened to be the same place that they had that comic book store in that little market right there. That little strip. Oh. Remember? Mile High Comics?
Mm-hmm.
That one was a little cluttered.
Oh, yeah. I tried telling people about kolaches, and it's so hard to explain because, like how would you describe a kolache?
Like a Hot Pocket.
It is nothing like a Hot Pocket.
It doesn't taste like a Hot Pocket, but it's bread around and some insides. And the insides are different, whether it's ham and cheese or, you know, pizza or steak and cheese.
But a Hot Pocket, like, it's not bread. It's like the flaky, like, pastry stuff. Different.
Yeah, well, I mean, but it's the same concept. But kolache, it's clearly a different I don't know, dough, I guess.
Yeah, it is, and it's kind of sweet, isn't it? Dough. Right on the outside.
It's like a pig's in a blanket.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like a calzone. A panini? Not a panini.
You can't just list off things that are stuffed.
No, what's that thing? What's that thing? Not calzone.
Stromboli?
Stromboli. That's it right there. Boom. And one and done. You're a Stromboli.
I know I am. I'm a fat little Gordita Stromboli.
That's rude.
I know.
You're beautiful,
I'm not calling
Melissa.
myself a faggot. No.
I'm going to say it here on this podcast that you're beautiful.
Don't say it here on this podcast.
I don't know what you said, but I'm sure it was ignorant.
Don't say it on the podcast. Go back, delete it.
No, that's too. You can't prevent this from going on air. It's going on air. Let's wrap this up. Stop that. Let's wrap this up with some more horror movie talk. We bored the audience with breakfast. Now let's wrap it around. What's your favorite type of horror movie, Melissa?
My favorite type of horror movie? Okay, well, if I want to watch a movie to get scared, I will watch a ghost movie. Because I think out of all the different horror movies that I could watch, it's ghosts that freak me out the most.
Not slashers?
No.
Not aliens?
Slashers. And actually, I don't know. Slashers have a special place in my heart, but they're definitely not my favorite.
You've got a special place in my heart.
Enough. And I think it's because I've seen so many of them. I feel like I've watched so many slasher films. I'm just like, okay, that's fine.
Wow. That sounds awesome. I like the way that sounds. You've seen so many slashers.
Yeah.
Going after my heart there.
Well, you were the one that showed them.
Hey, calm down. That's gonna be deleted.
Okay.
Not alien movies. Signs.
I like alien movies, but I will watch them, but not to get scared because I'm not afraid of them.
You're afraid of Signs.
Well, okay, so Signs is different because
Because it sucks.
it's that one part
At the
where they're
birthday
watching-
party.
Yeah.
The South American birthday party where they're filming down the alleyway. Can you
Yeah.
picture this in your head, Melissa?
I am.
And the alien walks across the alleyway, and Joaquin Phoenix is like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah.
And it's the
that's
Bigfoot
like-
footage.
That is such a scary moment. I don't know what it is. I think it's just like whatever sound they make when he walks across, or just the surprise of it. You don't see it coming. You see it. Fuck. Something right there. Too.
Are you gonna go see Wizard of Oz in IMAX, Melissa?
Ooh, I should.
That's why it's in theaters right now.
Because they made it into IMAX.
Because they're presenting it in IMAX. I don't know if that statement that you just made was a proper statement.
Go fuck yourself.
Mel, go fuck yourself. Mel, go fuck yourself. Or go fuck yourself.
Then go fuck yourself.
You're so mean to Ben Affleck. Why do you hate him so much?
I'm not mean to Ben Affleck.
Why do you love him then?
You're just hanging on.
Was he in any scary movies?
Ben Affleck?
Yes.
Oh gosh, I don't think so.
Phantoms?
Phantom? Is that considered a scary movie?
That's definitely a horror movie. Definitely. Definitely.
Then yeah, I guess you're right. I was wrong.
Well,
I was thinking that was Michael J. Fox.
Michael J.
Fantastic.
Fox. This isn't Teen Wolf.
Yes.
You had a great laugh,
I mean-
Melly.
Oh, thanks.
Any last horror thoughts? Are you scared right now?
No.
Are you scared to go into work today?
No.
You say that like you are, but you don't want to admit to it.
I'm terrified.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the beginning.
What about it?
You're afraid of that movie.
I hate the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies.
No, you don't. You love them.
I hate them because they're too scary.
Because you don't want to get chopped up by a chainsaw.
Pretty much.
And
pretty much. I know that's unusual, but I don't want that to happen.
Oh, is that unusual? Let's take a poll and see how many people do not want to get chopped up by a chainsaw. And then we'll see how unusual that is.
Okay.
Because no one wants to. I don't want to get chopped up by a chainsaw. Fuck that noise.
Yeah, fuck that noise and that feeling.
That feeling of getting chopped up by a chainsaw. You're so funny.
Nope.
You should be a stand-up comedian.
No, I should not.
Well, you should
I'm not
be
cute enough for that.
my personal comedian. You're very cute.
Stop it.
No, you stop it. I'm gonna come over there and I'm gonna punch you and then I'm gonna hug you a little bit because I'll be sorry for punching you.
No, that's unacceptable. I won't accept your hug after you punch me.
No, you'll just kiss me instead.
No.
You heard it here first, folks.
No, you didn't hear it here at all, folks.
Do cats scare you?
Should they?
I don't know. Are they creepy?
No.
What about the creeper pitches?
Aw.
No. What the fuck?
What?
There's a cat that's running around here all super fast and scary like.
Super cat?
Super cat. Charlie is freaked out. Stupid fat Charlie.
Why does Tiger do that?
She fucking dips her nose in the cocaine.
The cocaine you have sitting out.
She smells.
No dish.
That's right. She smells it because she doesn't know what it is, accidentally inhaling the cocaine. Well, Melissa. Big ol'
You
yawns.
sound like you need more sleep.
What?
You sound like you need more sleep.
I don't need more sleep. I'm just waking up. I feel pretty good. I'm gonna go stick my dick in the light socket.
Oh boy.
God damn it! What the fuck?
What?
The cat.
What about her?
She's just standing there, and then she fucking books it. She was trying to go through the obstacle course.
So funny. I wonder why they do that. It's crazy. I missed that. That was so funny. They're just fucking running through the house like that.
And now she's fine, just calm,
No, she's fine. Like nothing ever happened.
licking her foot, staring at things on the wall, staring at the ghosts. Oh, there she goes!
What did you do?
She was just sitting there, and then she fucking booked it. Like a fucking psychopath.
And because she's chasing her, maybe? That what it is?
Maybe. Tiger, come here, right now. Alright, Melissa.
Yeah.
I'll talk to you again some other time later in the future.
And that's a good idea.
Is that a good idea or is it a bad idea?
It's a great idea.
No, it's an awesome idea?
Yeah.
Alright, well, we can call that a sequel podcast.
Can we call it a sequel podcast?
Yeah.
Or can we call it a faggot podcast?
Hey, only when you're on.
Hey.
Sorry, I'm just
always
kidding.
on.
JC. Or JK.
JC.
Just, Jesus Christ. I'm Matthew Bonta.
I'm Melissa Hoffman.
Happy Halloween, Reno.